and share my screen. Sorry guys, this is all the technical stuff, which I'm not moving very quickly at. Okay, well, I am so excited just really we host these calls regularly, and so to get on this line and see all of these men's faces is just really a breath of fresh air, because that's really what tonight is all about. It's about reaching out to men and sharing this same mission with you and trying to help meet you where you're at. We are so lucky that some people have come alongside of us and have noticed that we're kind of missing that market a little bit. So we would like to appeal to you more, to share more information with you. So we are very excited if you're taking the time to join us tonight or watch this recording. Myself, my name is Julie, along with whoever invited you to this call, is a part of a unique community called the Healthy Living Revolution, where together we try to come alongside of individuals and families and help them take their health back in ways that are simple, doable, and fun. And we're excited for a few reasons. We really believe that we're on a mission to inspire healthy living around the world, and we believe it's very necessary. And the reason is that there are two really startling trends in our world today. The first is that environmental toxins are increasing. So whether this is products that you're putting on your skin, stuff you're washing your hair with, the air that you're breathing, the water you're drinking, the food that you're eating, the pharmaceuticals that you're taking, we are exposed to so much more toxicity today than our grandparents were, and quite a bit more than our grandparents' grandparents. And at the same time that our world is becoming more toxic, our food quality has dramatically decreased. I really like this image because this gentleman is in the center aisles of the grocery store, and I find that usually when I'm there, I'm not always buying food anymore, but I'm buying food-like products. So I really encourage that we try to avoid things like synthetic vitamins, flavor enhancers, preservatives, because they really aren't food, and our body doesn't recognize it and know what to do with it. Our food should be what's helping us fight against this environmental toxicity. But unfortunately, we really are buying more food-like products these days. This is Dr. Bill Sears. He's actually known as America's pediatrician, but this third stat on here is really why we're hosting this call tonight. So he's sharing kind of the current status in America today. So 1 in 3 people live with some form of cardiovascular disease. 1 in 3 women will have cancer, and 1 in 2 men will have cancer, which is staggering. 1 in 3 will have diabetes by 2050, and 1 in 3 is obese. And we're excited and we're fired up because of the quote at the bottom left. 75% of all chronic disease is preventable. There really are many things that we're suffering with today that are lifestyle related. And that's where we want to come alongside of you and just help teach you more about what you can take control of. So oxidative stress is linked to poor health. What is oxidative stress? Well, it's something that happens in our body from the moment that we're born. There's really nothing we can do. As long as we're breathing, we have oxidative stress. And of course, if we're breathing even more, for an example, if we're exercising heavily, if we're an athlete, we have even more oxidative stress. And I want you to consider, just an easy way to explain it is to consider an apple. When you cut open an apple, the second that flesh is exposed to the air, the oxygen, it begins to oxidize. It begins to age and to brown and to rust. And the same thing is happening in our bodies internally to our cells all day long. They're the victim of oxidative stress. And that really is the aging process. And what we want to try to do and what we understand is that our best defense against oxidative stress, which is our internal aging, is antioxidants. Maybe you know that if you cut open an apple and you squeeze lemon juice over it, that antioxidant in the lemon juice will protect that apple and delay that aging process. And the same thing happens internally. Well, 1 in 2 men will have cancer. And cancer is really extreme oxidative stress that's taken over, extreme free radical damage. So if we can help to delay or to reduce our oxidative stress, it can really make a difference in our life long term. And the best way to do that is with an abundance of antioxidants. So we all know where we get antioxidants from, right? From fruits and vegetables. But unfortunately, our mass-produced produce packs a much less nutritional punch. The first reason is because of soil depletion, what we're buying in the stores. There's a very interesting topic called soil depletion. I'm not an expert on it. I'm not going to go into it tonight, but you can Google it if you're curious. The second is just the fact that it is mass produced. When we go to the grocery store and we buy a green banana, it's interesting to know that over 80% of nutrition comes into the plant within the last 24 to 48 hours of ripening on the vine. So when we're eating that plant that was picked 2 to 3 weeks before we are going to eat it after we buy it from the store, it's missing so much nutrition. I love this image because it just totally explains it in one image, right? The iron content in a bowl of spinach in 1953, you had to eat 43 bowls of spinach in 1997 to get that same iron content. And that was over 20 years ago. So I don't exactly know where we are today, but I'm not sure it's much better. And I believe, or I'm actually pretty sure it's much worse. I believe that this is the reason those cancer stats are so scary, because our food should be what's protecting us, and our food is incredibly depleted. So we are up against a mountain when it comes to being able to fuel our bodies well. And that's what we want to talk about tonight. Just in talking with Steve and some of the other men here on the calls, Steve was saying, I think sometimes men, we think our health is in the gym. And tonight we want to talk about our health being with how we're fueling our body, our internal health first, and kind of just shift our paradigm a little bit related to that. So maybe you've taken supplements before, maybe you've taken vitamins before. On the left here is a label of what's in a multivitamin. It's usually some random synthetic isolated ingredients that were originally found in plants, but we man-made and put them in a vitamin. And then I want to tell you about an apple. So many people are alarmed to learn that they have actually discovered today over 20,000 different unique phytonutrients present in one bite of an apple. So all of these ingredients work synergistically together, right? So ingredient number 7, ingredient number 43, and ingredient number 2008 work in our body together, and they know exactly our body knows exactly what to do with it. And what we did over 60 years ago is we took those random ingredients that are found in plants, and we man-made them in a lab and put them in a vitamin and thought it would bridge the gap. And as we can see with our current health state, it's not working. We really don't have a vitamin deficiency. We have a whole food deficiency. One of my favorite ways to explain the synergy of whole food is with a tomato. So there is lycopene found in a tomato, and lycopene is known to fight prostate cancer. But they're finding that when they remove the lycopene from the tomato, it has no effect on the cancer. And that's because that lycopene is working with the thousands of other ingredients present in that tomato, and our body knows exactly what to do with it. So they used to say you needed 5 a day, then they said 7 to 13. They've even increased it. I've read some studies that say within the next 50 years, we will need 30 servings of fruits and vegetables a day just to fight what we're being exposed to. The truth is just more matters. Nobody with the standard American diet is getting too many fruits and vegetables. And we're excited on this call tonight because at some point, the men that you're going to hear from learned about a very simple solution called Juice Plus. Juice Plus is very rare. It was actually developed over 30 years ago. I shouldn't say rare, it's very unique. It was developed over 30 years ago, and it's been on the market for 25 years. It was developed by a doctor, Dr. Smokey Santillo. He worked with cancer patients, and he helped them juice. And his dad was diagnosed with lymphoma, and he was given 3 weeks to live. And so Dr. Smokey wanted to make his juice more powerful, and he decided that instead of juicing the fruits and vegetables, he was going to take the whole thing with the pits, the peels, the rinds, the seeds. He was going to let them ripen on the vine so they had as much nutrition as possible, and throw it in a massive Vitamix, blend it up. What was left over was a slurry. He dehydrated that, and it turned in at a cold temperature to preserve the nutrients, and it turned into like a powdered produce. And that's what's in our capsules. It's a powder, and it's actually food. This is like Jetsons. This is from the future. It's food in a capsule. And he just pumped his dad full of this powder, and he ended up living for 6 more years. Not only did he live, but he thrived. And it was at that time that he knew that he was onto something. So again, like I said, our product hit the market 25 years ago. And there are 3 things that make us incredibly unique. Maybe you're into health, and maybe you've searched for supplements, and you're really curious about this, and this is what's going to speak to you. Number 1, it really is just food. If you can see in my camera, we have a nutrition label, not a supplement or a vitamin label. This is food in a capsule. When my son was 6 months old, I opened up the capsule and put it in his food, because if he can have food, he can have Juice Plus. It's full of that phytonutrition instead of isolated vitamins, non-GMO, dairy, and gluten-free. It has an NSF certification, which is a third party that validates that what we say is in our product is and nothing more, which is very important. It's also what ensures that it's free of any herbicides, pesticides, fungicides, mold, yeast, bacteria, and it's what makes professional athletes, able to take it without any risk. And then finally, when our product hit the market years ago, people had unique experiences, and you're going to hear about that in just a second. And they were so unique that they decided that they wanted to see what our product was doing on human beings with blood drawn. And now we are the most researched whole food nutritional product in the world with 38 published studies and 6 underway. We've been researched at Brigham Young, Yale, Vanderbilt, MD Anderson Cancer Center, and again, with human beings with blood drawn. And so I'm going to tell you my favorite study. I think it's really, really important, especially as I tell it to everybody, especially though as our audience is men. This study was done at the University of Maryland and published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology. And it was the brainchild of a group of cardiologists. They know that over 50% of heart attacks happen 4 hours after consuming a high-fat meal. It's why Christmas, Easter, New Year's, Thanksgiving are terrible days in the emergency room. And they wanted to see the effects of Juice Plus on heart health. So they took a group of people to a very popular fast food restaurant and fed them a pretty standard high-fat breakfast. And then they waited 4 hours and they measured the constriction in their brachial artery. And that's this gray line right here. Everybody had around 40 to 50% constriction 4 hours after eating that meal. Their body was working 40 to 50% harder to pump their blood through their body. And then they divided the group up. They had a placebo group, a fruit and a veggie group, and a group on all 3 of our blends, which is our fruit, veggie, and berry. And they waited only 28 days. This bar right here in the purple is 28 days later. They took them back to the same restaurant, fed them the same meal, waited 4 hours, and measured their constriction. You can see the placebo group had the least amount to begin with, and they had a slight reduction 28 days later. The group on our fruits and our veggies, just 28 days later, they had 68% less constriction in their arteries, just from adding 4 capsules of plants into their diet every day. And the group on all 3 with our berries, they had the most constriction. They had a reduction of 98% constriction. They went from about 50% to less than 1%. And the reason why I love that study is because it proves what we were saying earlier, more matters. These people changed nothing else in their diet, and they just added in more good, and their body knew exactly what to do with it. So no, that doesn't mean you can go eat a bunch of fast food meals, Jeremy Zilke, who will share later. But it just means that when you give your body exactly what it needs, it knows what to do with it. So I want to touch on something really quickly. I'm not saying you need to become vegan, but these are the arteries of a vegan, a vegetarian, and a meat eater. And this word is atherosclerosis. I've been practicing that. One of the first signs of increased plaque in your arteries is erectile dysfunction. So I'm trying to say that when you have blood flowing well through your body in your brachial artery, it's flowing well through your body everywhere. So Juice Plus will affect every part of your body for the better and affect blood flow for the better. And it's simply because it's plants, and that's exactly what our body knows what to do. So just know your body is always giving us signs of what's really going on. So instead of ignoring it, let's talk about the root cause. Let's talk about diet. Secondly, we have an amazing product called our Juice Plus Complete Shakes. They are plant-based protein. They're delicious. They come in chocolate and vanilla. They're low glycemic, so they stabilize your blood sugar. Many people say to me they actually keep me full. That's what's rare about them. Vegan, and it's because they stabilize your blood sugar. They're vegan and non-GMO, gluten and dairy-free, like I said, full of plants and some powerful prebiotic fibers. I really want to speak to the whole protein powder confusion out there. And many people pursue usually whey or heavily high protein powders because they think it helps them build muscles. But actually whey and many of those other supplements, if you turn the bottle around and has a supplement label, it's not really food. It's full of isolated vitamins. It's full of synthetic ingredients. It's full of things that are very toxic for us, things that promote illness and inflammation. It really has been a big lie that's been sold to us as health food because it is far from health food. And what I love about our complete shakes is that so many men have take this, and it's their post-workout drink or pre-workout drink, or it's their breakfast. And also they can give it to their kids because it's food. It's full of amazing plants. There's a huge movement going on now of fighters and athletes and just, people who are building muscle that are promoting plants. They're actually finding out that they're thriving better on plants than they are on heavy meat protein or whey protein. So I love our complete shakes. They're amazing. I think it's definitely something you'd want to consider adding into your diet. Finally, last October, we came out with our first capsule product in over 15 years. It's our Juice Plus Omega Blend. It is, if you are familiar with a fish oil, this would be an improvement on the fish oil. It is, we know that omega fatty acids benefit our heart, brain, joints, skin, and eyes. We know that we're depleted in them. We do not get high quality omegas when we do consume them. And so this is 100% plant-based, and we get a full spectrum, omega 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. But what's really important about it is that our capsules are cold pressed, and that allows for the oil not to go rancid. I love our omegas. They just had wonderful health changes for me, and I have customers who've really seen differences in their joints and their eyes and their skin from it. So it would be an amazing thing for you to add. And then finally, before I jump over to the stories, this is Dr. Richard DuBois. He was head of infectious disease in Atlanta, Georgia, named one of America's top doctors. He was one of the first of now thousands of healthcare professionals to recommend Juice Plus. And he says there is nothing available anywhere else in the world with or without a prescription that has been clinically proven to do what Juice Plus does, which is absolutely amazing. And at this point, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and ask Steve to unmute himself and just let us know, Steve, your story, your journey on Juice Plus. We'd love to hear from you.
All right. I'll try to do this pretty quick because I know we've got other people to get to also. But basically, 3 years ago, Kelly came home with this product. There's a whole bunch of bottles, and I was like, okay, you're taking a whole bunch of pills. Okay, good luck with that. I'm going to throw some money down the drain. Thanks a lot. And then, she started seeing results. And then, after several months, she was having more energy. She was feeling better, eating better, felt healthier, sleeping better, all these things. And, she wasn't, it wasn't stopping. She kept taking this and it felt good, and I was like, oh, usually we do these fads and, we're done after a month and we rebound everything. So, no, she kept going. So it was like, that's awesome. And I was like, okay, well, let me try this. So one summer, I got on the Trio and I dove right into a Shred 10, which we can talk more about. But basically it's, just kind of cleanse the body. And I felt so good. Had more energy. I got my blood tested and I had lower cholesterol. All my numbers were going down, which is good because I have high cholesterol and all sorts of bad things going on. So it was good to see those numbers finally go in a good direction. One of the benefits that I often forget about, and I want to make sure I mention, is I'm rarely sick. It does happen, obviously, we're all not immune to everything, but I often forget that. I'll just be going along oh man, I haven't been sick in a really long time. So I think that's a huge benefit. It's also cool because our son takes it and he's never sick. The only time he's gone to the doctor for a sick visit is he had pink eye, and I know you can't always control everything, but he's never gone to the doctor for any other sort of antibiotics or anything. So it's just an amazing product. I love that it bridges the gap. There's no way I can eat this many fruits and vegetables. Like Julie was saying, we have to get 7 to 13 servings. I'm lucky if I get one of each. I have an apple and some carrots, and then it's your day's done. So I love that I can get my fruits and vegetables this way when I have a bad day, when I just can't get to enough fruits and vegetables. And especially for guys, I think we just have that mentality of well, I'll just go to the gym. I'll start tomorrow. I'll just go to the gym more, and that's the cure. I'll just be in the gym, and that will solve all my problems. Or I'll do more push-ups. I can totally do that. I'll start tomorrow. And there's always some excuse, and we never do it. So by getting on this, I know that it helps bridge that gap. So when I have a bad day or a bad week, and I can't get to the gym, can't get to the good diet, I know that this is there helping my body. And then it's just one small step at a time, one small change. And it's oh, well, I'm starting to feel better. Let me try to make sure I incorporate more fruits and vegetables. I have more energy now. I will go to the gym because I have energy. So it all starts with one small change, and you'll be surprised that it just leads to others. That's basically it in a quick nutshell, because I know we have to get to some other guys too.
That's awesome, Steve. Thank you so much. And Steve is a teacher, so for his immune system to be so healthy, it's a big deal. And That matters for your pocketbook, right? That making sure that you can be at school.
Oh, definitely. Because usually with schools, there's so many germs going around. I'm surprised I'm not sick more often or anything like that, but I think Juice Plus really helps with that.
Right. It's been awesome to see his transformation and the fact that you've stuck with it, like you said, over the years. So at this point, I'm going to switch over to Jeremy. If you can unmute yourself and just share your story with us, we'd love to hear from you.
Well, thanks for the opportunity to share. I've always been healthy. I've never had a lot of health issues, and to be honest, I've taken that for granted. My wife warned me over years, and I kind of blew her off a little bit. But around my mid-30s, I began to put on a little more weight that I couldn't get off or keep off. I'd drop it, but it would always come back. And then as I went to my annual physical, I noticed all the important numbers start to trend upward, and that wasn't a good direction. So I've meant to do a lot of things, as Steve said, but we intend a lot of things, but we may not follow through. And I wasn't a healthy individual. If it grew in the ground, I tended to pass on it, even when my wife might have prepared a great meal with it. And while I was active, I was not active regularly with fitness that I should have been just implementing into my daily life, and it was going to catch up. So here I am, 43, early this year. I've seen some really great things with my children and my family, and I said to Julie, well, why don't we go ahead and get me started on it as well? So in January, I started taking the quad, actually. I take the all four. Actually, she started me on the duo. I asked for the trio, and I'm up to the full quad with the omegas. And I lost 15 pounds right off the bat. Now, that's not uncommon for me, but it's been a really hot summer. I've not gotten out. I've not been as active as I would have wanted to. And I've not made many other changes. I lost 15, but I kind of went back to old habits, but I've held steady. I have not gained the weight back that I have lost, which I would have gained back in previous years. And then the big test came about 3 weeks ago. I went in for my annual. Now, the last couple of years, I've told them, they've given me the option, do you want your lab work done? And I said, knowing that I didn't like where the trend was going, I took the option of, no, let's skip on the labs this year. And so for 2 years, I did that. And my wife was not happy about that, by the way. She wanted to know how healthy I was. Like, they gave me the option not to do the blood work, and I went and passed, fearing what the results were going to be, in fact. So this year, I said, okay, I've been on Juice Plus since January. Let's run the tests. And so my lab work came back, and every number, it's been 3 years. I've not made a lot of changes other than the Juice Plus. The trend should have, there is no exception. Older, it should have just continued on that upward trajectory. Blood pressure, glucose, pre-diabetes indicator, all my other numbers were all the same, if not had dropped. 3 years older, tests the same, trend was up. The only difference in my lifestyle, significant difference, has been Juice Plus, and everything held level or diminished. My glucose was down from 95 to 85, which meant I was teetering towards diabetic, but I'm much safer than I was. My blood pressure was down. Other indicators were the same. And the only change that I made, honestly, was taking Juice Plus. Now, I have some intention to make some additional changes, which I want to. I don't want to live that high-risk life, but I'd like to lose another 10, 15 pounds, continue in that direction. But I'm so thankful for Juice Plus for what it's provided, for the health. I know it's filling in the gaps, as Steve said. I do not eat what I'm supposed to eat, and I'm grateful for a product that can help me fill in what I have yet to be able to supplement what we all really acknowledge needs to be taken in, and that's the fruits, the vegetables, and the nutrition that Juice Plus offers.
That's awesome, Jeremy. I know it was so cool when you got those test results back, and it's been definitely fun to watch your journey as well. So thank you so much for sharing. That is awesome. At this point, we're kind of going to switch gears a little bit. I'm going to share my screen again. We're talking about freedom tonight. We're talking about health freedom, time freedom, and financial freedom. And one wonderful thing that both Steve and Jeremy and George, who's going to share later on, have had the opportunity to do is align with our amazing Juice Plus company. And, okay, sorry, I'm trying to, there we go. And aligning with our company is really where you get the opportunity to have time freedom and financial freedom if that's what you're interested in. I don't know why it's not giving you the big, oh well, I'm not gonna worry about it. So what sets us apart in our company, There we go. Come on, this is there. Oh, there we go. Is that it's only $50 a year to be able to align with the Juice Plus company, and just like what we're doing tonight, share with your friends and family about an amazing, simple solution. With that $50, you get your own website that your customers can order from. You get a back office, which is your own office that you can manage your business from. And you get company support. The company really does everything outside of talking to people. We're the ones who talk with people. We share this amazing solution. The company ships to our customers, bills our customers, collects from our customers, and pays us every month by direct deposit. We don't have to carry any inventory. The only Juice Plus that we touch is our own. Any level that we hit within our company is permanent, any commission level, which is wonderful because it really allows this opportunity to work with your life, with the seasons of your life. And you can do it out and about as you're, like you would share a restaurant that you love, you share a product that you love. At the top level of our company, we have a family insurance package, which is medical, dental, long-term care, disability, tuition reimbursement, chiropractic care. It's an amazing insurance package that rivals corporate America and exceeds corporate America in many situations. And that's really, really unique. And also it allows people to be able to go full time with the Juice Plus company. There are no quotas or minimums when it comes to aligning with our company. So again, you can share as you'd like. You could do this as part-time or full-time. We have people that just want to cover the cost of their Juice Plus, or some people want to pay for their car payment. We have others who want to earn a couple $1,000s a month and pay for their children's education, or people who want to have a full-time income and maybe earn even more. But why this opportunity is so wonderful is, number one, because it's an amazing product to share with people. You heard Jeremy and Steve's story. To be a part of giving the gift of health and the gift of hope to people is so amazing. But it's also consumable. You need this product every single day. And at the bottom of a bottle, you need more. So it allows you the opportunity to earn residual income. And residual income is also known sometimes as mailbox money. It's income that you earn off of after the point of sale. So I just want to share, this is really, really hard to see, but I wanted to share that $500 a month with our company, you could earn that just by sharing with a wonderful customer base, having about 20 to 40 customers. You could maybe earn around $500 a month. But if you wanted to earn $500 a month residually in the bank at 10%, you'd have to have $72,000 in the bank. So I don't know how many people have $72,000 just laying around, but this is an amazing way to just add an extra income stream to your family and bless those around you who are looking for better health or maybe even better wealth. So at this point, I'd love for Steve to unmute himself and just share why he's decided to align with the Juice Plus company.
Sure. Thanks, Julie. You already hit kind of the highlights of it. I'll just kind of tell my experience. It's because it's easy. I don't have to do anything. I just talk about the product. I never had intended to sell or anything like that. I'm just going to talk about my experience. I'm feeling healthy and I'm feeling good, and people notice that, or they hear me say something and they ask why, and I give them the details about Juice Plus. And one thing leads to another, and I talk to this person, that person, they start trying it out and they start feeling better, and it's just like, okay, awesome. So I was doing this and talking to people, especially a lot of my colleagues, and they want to get signed up. So I just would send them over to Kelly and like, hey, you're doing the Juice Plus stuff. I'm doing the teaching stuff. You do the Juice Plus stuff. And so she was getting these customers. And after a while, we both talked like, wait a second, why don't I become a rep? And I can actually, kind of level up and work my way up. And so I just started doing that recently, and I already got my first little bonus check, incentive check and stuff like that. So it's like, this is like the easiest paycheck ever. All you have to do is talk about it. If people don't want to buy, they don't have to buy. You don't have to force it. I'm not forcing anything, just sharing my experience, giving them some information. That's what's cool at Juice Plus. There's so much information out there and a great community. So it makes it really easy. I mean, I just talked to Kelly, or she talks to Julie, and we find something that would help a potential customer. And because all of us are trying to get people healthy. And that's the other aspect is, I've just kind of been on this little kick lately of trying to get some of my friends a little bit healthier, trying to do something with my family too to get them healthier, because we have a lot of sweets and treats and everything that whenever we have gatherings. And we just got to, work on these habits and eating better. So that's also been kind of a mission of mine, is trying to get us to eat better. Because I have friends, I'm in my 30s, and I have friends who are having heart attacks or having diabetes and having obesity and having problems. And it's like, we're 30. We're going to live like, potentially another 60 years or more. Like, how are we already having problems? So it's just kind of been a little bit of a mission to get people to be healthier and just to share my mission is share my experience, and I'm not perfect, but I do want to second what Jeremy said about the whole rebound thing. That's been another aspect is I have my good days and bad days, but I never have that rebound. I lost like 30 pounds over the first few months, and I've never rebounded. I maybe go up a little bit or down a little bit, but I've never gone back to that full 30, which is awesome. The other thing I really like about this is you don't have to buy any product. I don't have to have a whole bunch of stuff in my garage and I'm trying to sell it before it expires. I don't have to worry about that. I just talk, and people are interested, they'll buy it, and I get a little kickback from that, so it's awesome. The other thing is Kelly always mentions to me is trading dollars for hours. It's like I could do tutoring at some after school things to get some money and stuff like that way, but then I'm time away from my family, and it's extra time, and you never know if it's steady pay and things like this. And this is well, I don't even have to put in that much time, and Kelly and Julie will totally help out if you have a good team like that. And it's not even that much work, and I've already probably made more money now than if I was doing tutoring. So it's and I don't have to stick in traffic after school because I stuck around to tutor after school. So I can get home, be with my family, and earn some extra money that way, which is kind of the thing there. And that's the thing. I can just work as many hours as I want to work. If I want to put in just an hour a week, then I put in an hour a week. If I want to really up my business, then I can put in 20 hours a week and talk to people, message people, do things. It's as much as I want to do. So that's what I love about this. It's just so easy. So there you go.
That's awesome. Well, we're so happy to have you. Steve has really blessed a lot of people in his community already just by sharing his story. Like he said, people looked at him and said, what have you been doing? And he just shared from his heart, and he's impacted a lot of people's health. So happy to have you joining this mission with us. And so at this point, I'm going to ask George Vitruba to unmute himself. Him and his wife have been aligned with the Juice Plus company for over 17 years, right? I believe, George. Oh, you got to unmute yourself. And so we're excited to hear his perspective because of the longevity that him and his wife have had with this company. She's got to unmute for him.
You got me?
I got you. Take it away.
Okay. Well, I have always been a very business-oriented type person anyway, and I have been always very dutiful and responsible. And so, the problem is, as a young man, you get so burdened by, having a house payment and having a family to pay for and everything, that work can oftentimes become kind of like an accident to your life almost. And when we discovered Juice Plus, we knew that it would be extremely good for our health, but we also knew it would be very good for our financial. And, for the first time, it kind of allowed me to sort of, the burden was a little bit lightened, and I could see that I could start to dream a bit. And so, in a way, it really helped my health in quite a bit from the financial standpoint. It's really made huge changes as the years has progressed, and so from the very beginning, I have been on board with it. I have been supportive to Jeanette, and I've tried to learn everything that I could about how to be a better business person myself. And the idea of residual income is so critical, because there is something that happens with business people. They call themselves business people, but they're really just self-employed, and they're really just spinning their wheels. They haven't really learned how to leverage the efforts of other people, and that's really what I think of as a definition of residual income. Now, finally, after 17 years of me supporting her efforts and me changing my thinking, we have achieved that level where we really are enjoying our lives. We can go, we can do, we don't have to think about costs. We can just really enjoy ourselves. And so you can't believe how freeing that makes you feel, and how good it is for your general attitude, your general well-being. I feel like not only am I fighting it on the front of, putting better nutrition in my body, but also on the front of curing my financial woes, so to speak.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that. I love that perspective, George. That's so true, because stress is the silent killer, they say, right? And so if this can fuel your body and alleviate some financial stress, yeah, you hit it home there. So thank you for sharing. We really appreciate all of you who shared on this call tonight. And really at this point, we just ask you to do one of three things. Number one, maybe you are feeling fired up about making some health changes and you're ready to go to the grocery store and eat more plants. And if that's where you're at right now, we totally support that. We want you to make whatever changes you can to be healthier. Number two, maybe this Juice Plus thing is making sense to you. And if that's the case, reach out to the person who invited you to this call or shared this video with you and ask them how you can get started. Juice Plus is affordable. It's around $2 to $3 a day. Children get it for free, which is amazing. And it's the only way we know to get a massive amount of nutrition into very busy families. And then finally, if you maybe even heard that information on health and you thought of people in your life, or you've been looking for something to add to your family to give, another income stream, the person who shared this call with you, please let them know that you'd like to learn more about our amazing virtual franchise. So thank you all. I'm going to unmute you guys. Please say good night. And thank you everyone who shared. Steve, Jeremy, George, you guys are wonderful. This was so much fun. Share this call away and take care.